Hello everyone, I'm Loaf, DEADSIDE's lead community manager, and this is DEADSIDE 1.0, the largest update that the game has ever seen. We have a lot of exciting stuff to cover, so let's start with the feature that everybody wants to know about, the UAZ and the Ural motorbike. The bike can be found all across the map of DEADSIDE, spawning near roads or inside garages. The bikes have 15 storage slots, can run at 70 kilometers per hour for up to 20 minutes with a full tank of gas. They normally seat only 2 players, but you can sometimes find a sidecar variant with an extra seat that you can shoot from. The UAZ is a bit harder to find, typically spawning in more dangerous areas of the map. They have 36 storage slots, run at 60 kilometers per hour for up to 30 minutes with a full tank of gas. And they seat up to 4 players, maybe 5 if you're willing to live on the edge. Also, you can store these vehicles at your base long term. Using a mechanic's workbench, you can place materials inside to prevent your vehicles from decaying. Boats will have the cheapest upkeep, only requiring spark plugs and machine oil, which can be found in garages or industrial areas. The UAZ and Ural bike is a bit more expensive, requiring mechanic tools. The only consistent way to find these are inside of new endgame locked mini bunkers, but first let's talk about base building. On some of our servers, you won't have to worry about being raided. These would be your PvP no raid servers or PvE servers. I will say though that we believe that DEADSIDE is best played with raiding enabled. It's how the game was designed. Yes, it does suck when you lose your base, but don't forget that all your money and progression is stored in the safe zone. Plus, each safe zone does have some unraidable storage for you, so you can definitely bounce back to get revenge. Now, when it comes to base building, we've completely replaced the old building system with a new one that allows for a lot more player freedom and some cool new features. Our new bases have 3 tiers of material: stick, plank, and metal. Building with sticks is easy. You just need to gather sticks from a tree or a bush. You will need to make a resource vault out of these sticks. This is the core of your base. It prevents structures from decaying if you place the required materials inside. Upgrading to plank tier requires a generator to power a wood planter. These 2 machines will convert logs into planks at your base. Using those planks and some nails, you can upgrade your structures to plank tier, tripling their health points. Upgrading to metal tier will require a metal planter, a machine that converts scrap metal into sheet metal. You will also need some rebar, which can be found in scrap piles scattered across the map. Using this sheet metal and rebar, you can triple your structure's health points once again. Just keep in mind that the larger your base gets, the more upkeep will be required to keep it from decaying. Upgrading your base isn't the only way to protect it from raiders though. Version 1.0 will also include auto turrets. The Tier 1 turret is a close-range shotgun, which fires when enemies step into the kill zone. They can be made easily with just some weapon components, sticks, and rope, so this is your go-to in the early game. Tier 2 turrets are much more expensive, requiring military electronics, which can only be found in those locked mini bunkers that we mentioned earlier. But these Tier 2 turrets are much more capable. They have a respectable amount of health, a wide field of view, and good damage output. They can be mounted either on the ceiling or on a tripod. You can power the turrets for up to 72 hours, so they will defend your base while you're offline. Turrets will require a radio station to be powered, and this gives you the ability to use our Discord companion bot. If your base is raided while you're offline, this bot will send you a notification through Discord, which gives you a chance to log in and defend your base while the raiders are busy dealing with your turrets. Comfort items have also been added into version 1.0. These base decorations can be found in large civilian towns and provide a comfort bonus to your character. This bonus lasts for an hour after you leave your base, with each level providing better and better buffs, like faster run speed, or even extra max health at max level comfort. There's a lot more that has gone into this base building overhaul that we just don't have time to cover here, but there are a few cool random things that I'd like to mention. Like, you can place as many storage crates as you want now. You can see some of the new storage racks in the background here, and the new safe item, which is really strong, but only has 3 slots. Another feature of version 1.0 is Trader Reputation. In order to unlock items at the trader, you can sell scrap metal at the safe zones, or watches and cigarettes to the wandering traders. Each level will unlock better and better gear, but requires more reputation. So, level 1 is easy to get at just 100 rep, level 2 requires 500, level 3 requires 1000, and level 4 requires 2000. The fast travel network at the safe zones have been expanded as well, with a handful of fast travel points now available across the map. Fast travel now charges money instead of dog tags, with the fee increasing the further you want to travel. You may also notice that the map itself has changed a lot, and that's because version 1.0 comes with our largest map expansion yet. This expansion adds the airfield, a huge military complex in the southeast. This airfield spawns some of the best loot in the game, has dangerous high tier events, and Generally just looks really cool in my opinion. This expansion covers the entire map though, not just the southeast. It's gotten a new coat of paint, with plenty of new POIs to find pretty much everywhere. One of the most interesting of these new locations are the locked mini-bunkers that you've been waiting to hear about. These locked bunkers are scattered across the map and drop different loot based on their location. For example, the mini-bunker at the airfield is much larger and drops a lot more loot than the mini-bunker north of Stepno, because Stepno is pretty close to the spawn zone. To unlock these bunkers, you will need one of these keys. The only consistent way to get them is by opening up convoy cases, though they can rarely spawn in a whole bunch of places. Once inside, you will need to deal with traps and auto turrets defending the loot. The M99 and GL40 are pretty good for this task. You can also use dynamite, a new raiding item that was added in this update. The most sought after box in these mini bunkers are these red meltable boxes. You're going to need a handful of blowtorches to melt these crates open. Inside of these crates are the military electronics required to craft turrets, as well as mechanic tools for vehicle upkeep. This is pretty much the only place those two items consistently spawn, which makes these red boxes very valuable. Now last but definitely not least is our new foraging system. You can now find berries, mushrooms, apples, and medicinal leaves. These items can be eaten to gain a small amount of food while out in the field, with the exception of the leaves, which gives you a small amount of health at the expense of some water. Using a drying rack, another new item, you can dry out those berries, mushrooms, and leaves. Using the dried items, you can craft some powerful tinctures, which gives your character some cool buffs. For example, the green tincture made from the mushrooms gives you 20 extra HP. The red tincture makes you run and reload faster, though consuming either of these is going to make you lose some food. These tinctures will not stack. You can only have one buff active at a time, so thankfully you can't just combine them all to become a super soldier. And those are the major features of DEADSIDE 1.0. We really skipped over a lot just to keep this video a reasonable length. This update is just too massive to cover in a short amount of time, so be sure to check out DEADSIDE on Steam if you haven't already. You can find a link below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.